Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's... Cousins to throw it. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll go Madison up the middle, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 6-0 is our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Cousins. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
2 now on first down. They complete it to Hill. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The two are going to try and throw for it, and he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Well, a second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Cousins on first down. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Cousins now to throw on first down. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Throwing is Cousins. Over the middle and complete to Addison. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Jefferson going to go in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Throwing, Cousins. And it's caught. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up, 1st and goal. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, it's going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, 47 yards. And the Dolphins are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something, when you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. Just wondered maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Cousins now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First down. Here's Cousins. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. This is caught out in the right flat.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl, as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this 3rd quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. But gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 20.
This defense. Anything in the run game, case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here. 3rd quarter, we'll see what else he has in store for us.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. 3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now Cousins. Complete to Addison on the out route. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
What I love about watching the passing game is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Jalen Phillips in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this returnable for Hill. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Third quarter, Super Bowl 58. Here's a 2nd and 10 now.
Looking to pass. Tua. A quick slant to Hill. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Dolphins are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now. I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6.
Play fake. Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
To throw is Cousins. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Cousins again. Completes this to Addison out left. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down, Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Tua going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Tua. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. He's got it at the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Yeah, the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they need. Football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. To the air again, it's Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings 1st down as he's brought down at the 16. Sideline pass complete, T.J. Hockenson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Cousins to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side
and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Joseph is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up. It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
It's a run with Mostert. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
I guess the touchdown wasn't enough. They want the onside kick as well. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Talk about 2 sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins are your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.